I I put a link to a news article where they abused over 20 kids at a school in Pennsylvania. For example, Harvard Hospital, the campus of Harvard, medical campuses too, and fire campuses have been colluding with their family members, putting fake things in databases at child campuses, starting fights between people and leaving their roles out with that so they can fake and change what's actually recorded, including things that are recorded on campuses, recorded 24/7. They're putting faked and changed reality there. They're putting fake ties between kids who never even saw each other on campuses that are filmed 24/7. With former director of the FBI, Robert Luskin, for example, with Eric Burgess, involved also with Dean Judd and his kids, involved with identity theft, fraud, slanders against me at Central Connecticut State University with a whole bunch of people from Wethersfield. That's in New Britain, Connecticut, with a whole bunch of people from Wethersfield, Connecticut, off the state judicial branch offices, off the state corrections offices. And they also put me in fake conversations with them since I was a kid. And in one of those conversations, they pretended through the mail that I said that everyone was evil. I said that everyone's against me. People were following me. These are some mental health nutbags, tactically delusions wrought, and criminally foreign influence with a whole bunch of different countries at the same time, including people from Ukraine and Russia, at the same time collusions with the people like Leahy and people at Harvard Hospital who faked conversations with me since I was a kid. And their kids are involved. The whole families that work at the triage at Harvard Hospital, the mental health care side, the security of it, foreign and domestic military, involved with the Colonial House near me, and O'Brien's. They used to live near me, but they came back even when they weren't living there. There've been collusions, hiding live progressions, tied to the rules of predicate acts with facts and databases, and leaders of the kids involved with identity theft, fraud, slanders. They even abused the kids of the leaders of the kids. So the difference of that, or the abuses of the other kids, where their family members have roles with it. Increasingly, these are people involved with World Trade Center predicate acts, with the other countries too. No, and per worse, there's a hyper foreign that's keeping the A through Z suits and ties, counters, exceptions, speaking of values like voting out of sequence, out of context. They're making it have value that it doesn't have, including positive and negative. In other words, we're supposed to have mandated law follow black pupils. We're supposed to have free speech and to force real science. We have fake sciences, integrity. And Fox Connecticut News, for example, they have intelligence next to them, increasingly involved with them, pretending passions and emotions regarding subjects. Oh, but that's because the audience likes us to make this big. Get down! Get me off the fake conversations with WFSB, first of all. That colluded with Fox Connecticut News people. WFSB is in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. They have roles with foreign and domestic military next to them and next to Fox Connecticut News. There are proofs. They have the FBI next to WTNH. WTNH also has roles, planting evidences and stories with them at corners of streets tied to these other ones. That's how I could discern it and how other people could too. But they know that and they are shown that. So they've been using all that comes before them to hide details, make them up, and trying to get more people to do that too, as more victim predators / hyper victim, hyper predators. Because nature shows us that we have to discern the difference between how there was slavery entrenched in northern colonies and southern colonies. And the difference of that is used, measured, and maintained by the breaching method. You guys are speaking about it differently than our founders communicated about it and how nature communicates about it. Our founders didn't have free speech. All exception nature come with demonstrations of the same thing. But you guys need to pretend that people have differences of opinions about such, because you need to pretend the values of the Constitution as styles that are keeping the value of unabridged from being discerned. We have an abridged Constitution originally and still forced. We're supposed to address that. We're not supposed to, in other words. And James Madison was our founder. We were supposed to refer to him singular. We were supposed to refer to our founders plural as him singular. That's what I read. And then George Washington agreed to help them and to use that plan. of James Madison. James Madison's plan to counter extortion and forced the other founders to break the crazy laws to an extent. Some of the northern colonies and some of the southern colonies, there were more than 13 entrenched. They had to force, trick, hurt, and persuade people to break the crazy laws against themselves and against everyone else to an extent, and then have no means to defend themselves unless relying upon the unity forced by that, which is still a unity criminally foreign influence, criminal insidious natures of unity, criminal insidious nature of independence at countries A through Z. We are a human species body of individual bodies as a system with group differences being generated by that identity of value progression that shows us there are other species bodies of individual bodies with group differences also being generated by its own identity of value progression. To the extent we could discern, it comes with its complete identity relationship to itself and the only increasing value of that. And we can learn more just from what we know already. To be mandated laws are offensively not followed, and they're building upon this between campuses. Rick Ciampaglione, I never had a class with him in my grammar school. He's increasingly involved with intelligence families near me that have been planting predicate acts with the Leahy family and other medical offenders of kids. There are sick child abusers and involved with the Wethersfield Police wire crime acts and methods, falsified police reports, with the courts forging and switching names. It's not hard to understand. Just follow, don't change and fake my words. Follow mandated law. Get them on paper, one name in sequence. Facebook also recorded, confessed, demonstrated, confirmed rules of all kinds of natures of organized crime, including with criminal enterprises, with Wethersfield Police and a principal upskirt natures campus, involved with more natures of organized crimes with the kids, and more than 20 kids they hurt. More than this. And with good people. I love my teachers, except for Mr. Pruzzi. Even I loved him then too. I learned more and more about him because he was brought up by confessions by people at Central Connecticut State University, involved with the World Trade Center attack too. Fear. It's righteous here.